Students concerned about gun violence are taking their campaign to the next level this Saturday with town halls around the country, including one in Roxbury. The local event takes place 1 to 3:30 in the afternoon at the Bowling Building near Dudley Square. Students organizing events in Massachusetts are partnering with March for Our Lives Boston and Stop Handgun Violence. We'd like to welcome one of the student organizers, Jalen Gemmel. Thank you very much for being with us, Jalen.
Thank you for having me.
Jalen, what got you interested in this issue to begin with?
Well, when I was in the 4th grade, I heard about the Sandy Hook shooting from my parents, and they tried to explain it to me in a way that a 4th grader could understand. And as I got older, I started looking more into it and realizing that there was an actual problem with how guns are distributed and the way that people obtain them. And after hearing about the Marjory Stoneman Douglas shooting on the way to school for a meeting, I realized that I needed to get involved and help be able to stop it.
Well, one thing that's very different about that shooting for all of us around the country is that we see this face of survivors, and instead of younger students, these are teenagers. They're very articulate. Yeah. And what did you think about seeing those teenagers?
I thought it was great that they are getting involved and that there's a voice for the teen community and everyone in schools, because we don't usually see that because we are pushed off as being too young to understand. And I think that them stepping up and showing that they do understand and that we do have a voice is amazing.
Speaking of amazing things, you went to Washington on March 24th.
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It was a great experience, just being there with all those people from different communities of religion, ethnicity, just all coming together to support this one cause that is a severe issue in America was just a unexplainable experience.
I know here in Boston we also had a march, and we have many people of different ages in the city. They could be adults, they could be teenagers. They've been talking forcefully for years about their struggles with violence in the neighborhoods. Will that be addressed at this town hall in Roxbury?
Yes, it will. So how it's going to go is people come in, and it's encouraged for students to come and speak with the representatives that we have. We have Congressman Jim McGovern coming. We have Senator Moore and Senator Goby coming. And we also have Dr. Hertz coming and talking about the public health issue that's coming with the guns. And we want to make sure that all people's voices are heard that are coming. So we are having, it's an open seat. Come if you need to. There are town halls going around all of Massachusetts, and you can ask questions. So we are having, you can speak directly to them, and you can write down your questions and ask them directly if you would like to.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Jalen Gemmel from March for Our Lives and Stop Handgun Violence. Jalen, about gun control, will there be some discussion about how controls affect either mass shootings and the more common kinds of shootings that we have in the neighborhoods?
Yes, there will. What we would like to accomplish is to make it a lot more difficult for people to obtain the guns. Like, I'm 15 years old. I'm about to start the process of getting my driver's license, and I feel that it's a lot harder to get a driver's license than it is to obtain a gun. We have to go through a class before you get a permit. You have to take a test to get your permit, and then after that it's a 6-month waiting period with other classes that you take, another test, and then you have to get the license. And with guns, there are some places where you can walk in and walk out with a gun the same day, and I don't believe that that is right.
Does getting involved in a campaign like this change things for you, the way you feel about yourself and where you're going as a student?
It makes me feel more empowered that I can use my voice for good, and it makes me feel like I am more important in the communities and helping others.
And in addition to helping others, you're actually coming into contact with people from all walks of life. You're at that march in Washington. Did that affect you in some way too?
It did. On the plane there, when I was going down, I met a woman named Laura who was flying down also. She was About my grandmother's age, and she reminded me a lot of her actually. And we had a nice conversation about what we believed should be changed and why we were going. And we talked a lot about the fear that people feel. I feel fear every single day when I go to school, and I don't want that anymore. I feel fear leaving my house, leaving my two sisters to go to school, and I don't want that anymore.
When you say you feel the fear, I mean, some of this is also because sure you have maybe some practices in the school for what to do in case something happens. What's that like when you're doing it?
It's a scary situation because we sometimes, I remember when I was a little younger in about 5th grade, we had a lockdown drill where they did not tell us it was a drill. They just told us to get into lockdown, and we had to hide behind my teacher's desk. And they started banging on the doors and making sounds in the hallway, and I almost had a panic attack. And I could not imagine the feeling of fear of the children during Sandy Hook, the teenagers and the children of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, the fear that they were feeling when they heard the gunshots going off in the hallways right outside their classroom doors. And I can't even explain how much it just needs to change.
And finally, how important it is for people to be at this town hall, because I guess the important thing is if people show up, it makes a
Yes.
difference.
We need the community's help in voicing the opinions of the adults and the children and the grandparents and the teachers. We need all of the voices to come and to help us support what we are trying to change.
I know the event in Boston Saturday is going to be at the bowling building near Dudley Square. And if people want some more details about the town halls, you got a place online they can check out?
Yes, you can go to thetownhallproject.com, enter your zip code, and it will find a town hall near you. And there are town halls going on all across the country.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Jalen Gemmill from Stop Handgun Violence.